Welcome back. I am Tyler here with my brother Ryan. Today we are doing our New Orleans Saints 3-round mock draft. We're going to break down all of the Saints picks in the top 100. But before we do that, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified whenever we create new content. We have a bunch more individual 3-round and 7-round mock drafts that will be Saints specific leading up all the way to the NFL draft. So be sure to ring that bell to get notified whenever those videos come out. Also subscribe. We're trying to get to 3,000 by the end of the Super Bowl. So we need just 10 or 15 so per video to help us reach our goal. So if this is your first time here, welcome. Greatly appreciative, and hit that subscribe button to help us reach our goal. And Ryan, let's get onto the slide here. So there's only 2 picks so far for the Saints in the top 100 picks. And I think actually then I don't think their next pick's till like 148 after their 45th pick.
Yeah, it's like the back end of the 4th or early 5th.
Yeah. So the Saints here, I will say, just to kind of describe what you're looking at. We have the first couple of picks before the Saints, and the last couple, and then the couple picks after them here. The team, then who they selected. Also, then to the right, you'll see other potential players we felt could have been taken, but they didn't end up taking or weren't able to take. So you'll be able to see which team took them and also which pick also that was at. So we ended up going with J.C. Latham here. To me, I think the Saints are one in a clear trade back spot because of their lack of draft capital. I think that it's possible here. Also, then too, with their main team need, in my opinion, which is going to be offensive line, they have a lot of offensive linemen that were starting or key backups that played significant time this year are hitting free agency, and they're also they have the worst cap space. I think they're going to try and find a young, athletic offensive lineman, and this is the draft to do it. Here, J.C. Latham is who we selected. Talise Fuaga, and I apologize. I think I misspelled his name there. I think it's supposed to be Fuga. Yeah, so sorry about that. But also then to Amarius Mims as well. I think also as well there's Jordan Morgan, there's Patrick Paul, there's Tyler Guyton. So there's a lot of guys that they can go and take back and that are not those top 2 tier guys, Joe Olufashano, which I don't think that they can go and get. But I think another sneaky option as well. We did throw receiver in there because this is also a great receiving class as well. So I want to throw a review of those 3 options: trade back, offensive lineman, or receiver, or I guess 4th other. Which one do you think is the most likely the Saints are going to do here with this pick?
That's kind of up in the air. I do really like J.C. Latham as a prospect. He's young, extremely physically gifted, and I think a lot of his lapses are just mental lapses. Like there was one snap where I think it was in the Michigan game where he's just not ready, and they snap the ball and he gets beat. Actually, I believe it was the final snap. And so, like, it's just things like that I think they need to work out of his game. I do think receiver, they've invested in Chris Olave. Rashid Shaheed is a free agent. And so we'll see about him possibly coming back. They are in cap hell. And so I really could see them trading back. I do think if they need to throw more darts at the dartboard, per se, in this scenario, trading back and acquiring more draft capital would be better. But getting a guy like J.C. Latham, I don't think you can make a mistake with here. So
no, I think honestly they could trade back and still get J.C. Latham potentially. We'll have to see kind of where the board falls because
it depends how far.
Depends how far. I mean, I think in one of my mock drafts, I think they traded with the Bengals, and they were still able to get him or Amarius Mims. But also then too, that's where like you get Amarius Mims, he's also just an athletic freak as well. So
yeah,
I think it's going to be fun. And I think one of the things as well to kind of go off the overall philosophy with the Saints is just so we did offensive side of the ball in the trenches. I think defensive side of the ball, they're also going to try and get younger and try and reset the clock. Also as well, no, they got Brian Breesy last year. It was last year, right? Yeah, it was last year. So I think this year they're going to get Jonah Ellis. His brother used to play for the Saints, but now they're going to get an edge rusher out of Utah. And I really like this pick also. They're also getting older on the defensive side of the ball as well. So they want to try and find that quick twitch type of edge rusher that can help provide a lot of pop, especially then too in a division now where the Buccaneers offensive line improved a lot, and also Baker Mayfield can sling the ball. You're going to want to be able to get quickly to him as well, and he can also move a little bit. The Carolina Panthers, you have Bryce Young, who is also very nimble, and also with then whoever the Falcons quarterback is going to be. Which I will say, in this mock draft, we did mock that the Falcons traded for Justin Fields using their second pick. So that's why you see Chicago actually picking there at 43. That used to be the Falcons pick. So I like this pick a lot here. I will say, the more and more I read about it, more and more I watch about it, I think Joan Ellis will probably not be here at 45 come draft day. But
yeah, he's moving up slowly.
Yeah, I think some potential options as well is they could get another offensive tackle here if they want, or if they skipped on that position earlier. They also could go receiver here as well. I think helping out Chris Olave also.
Yeah, I think this is a really solid pick here. Cameron Jordan's getting older. I think you pair Jonah Ellis with Brian Breesy, that would be a nice tandem in that front four. And then, I mean, yeah, again, there's multiple ways they could go. I also think if they do go that trade back route, I think they would trade back far enough to potentially acquire another second from somebody. So we'll just kind of have to see where they end up. Let's go ahead and wrap things up with a quick recap here. So at the 14th overall pick, they address the offensive line with J.C. Latham, and at 45, they get an edge rusher in Jonah Ellis. Again, both these guys are extremely talented, very athletic, and project to be really good players at the next level. I think for me with the Saints, they have negative $70 million in cap. And they only have 2 top 100 picks. I think only 3 top 150 picks because that other day 3 pick is going to be at like 143. So I think they really need to make these count. I do actually, the more I think about it, like the trade back scenario here for them to acquire more draft capital. But for right now, this is kind of what we have them going with right here. Is just these 2 young guys that I think are really solid players.
Yeah. Focus on the trenches here. And I think they could trade back and then get a little more draft capital. And maybe then they'll maybe go with the Jalen Polk or maybe go with Brian Thomas Jr. or something like that. I think maybe Ladd McConkey also to put him in the slot. I think that would be interesting with the speed that Rashid Shaheed has on the outside, and then the elite talent that Chris Olave has. I think he just needs a little bit more supporting help around him. So, but if that's the route that they go and they don't want to trade back, I think that addressing the trenches is going to be huge for them, and those are 2 good players.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and wrap up this Saints 3-round mock draft here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on what you thought of this Saints mock draft. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Would you want to see them trade back? Let us know what you would do differently. What other players would you target? And other than that, we will see you guys next time.